Thank you for listening to BizPod with me, Paul.
And me, Rachel.
Our weekly business English podcast where we talk about the news, social media, and hot topics from a business point of view. You'll get a podcast and links to the articles we discuss. This way you can share your thoughts too. Join us as we discuss what's on our minds this week.
It is recording. Good.
More people? I'm thrilled.
Okay. All right.
So tell us, where are you? Where do you live, Alexander?
Well, right now I'm living in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. It's famous for the carnival, and carnival season is next week. So, yeah, get your bird costumes, as people say. And it's amazing. It's a summer festival, so yeah, we're getting quite in the mood because right now it's 35 degrees Celsius. So, oh yeah, be ready for that. So yeah. So there are moments that I just get a tan just by going to the bakery to buy some bread. So it's this kind of hot weather I'm talking about. So yeah. And where are y'all, by the way? So I would like to know too. I just came here with my voice in a dream.
We're in Italy.
We're in Italy.
Yeah. But it's freezing cold, as you can see from our jumpers and everything.
Amazing. Where in Italy are you?
We're on the middle, sort of, if you know where Rome is, on the same line, but on the opposite coast, on the Adriatic coast. So in the middle of nowhere. But I want to ask you more about Carnival. I mean, how are you going to celebrate? What are you going to do?
Well, it's pretty simple, actually. You just need to go out and party because it's happening pretty much everywhere. So we have some things that we call blocks in Brazil, and some of them are even organized by very famous singers here in Brazil. And we just go out, we put some clothes. I don't know if I should say we put on some clothes if we take them off, because it's a summer, yeah, it's a summer party. So there's no underdressed occasion. So some people they like to go shirtless, like with some sort of a bikini bra. So and apparently in costume. So some people go as princesses, like a summer version of Snow White, or something like the meme of the moment. So yeah, and there's a
So what's your
local meme
choice?
here.
What's your choice for this year? What costume are you going to wear?
I like to play it safe. So yeah, here in Brazil, there's like a set of costumes. Like if you work out at the gym, you can go as an angel, or you can just cover yourself if you feel like self-conscious with your body. I'm going as Greek god because it's half-half. So I'm confident in showing some skin, but I want to cover everything. So yeah, I think that is a good one. And dancing lots of samba.
So a Greek god. So do you have the physique for the godlike sort of creature?
Well, I'm going as Hermes because I'm not muscular, but I'm a good runner. So I think that is good. Clever.
Very live.
Everything was well thought out. And also, there is one thing about Carnival that I want to say. Oh, I could have forgot it. Okay, we can keep going. Oh, samba. Some people,
Samba.
unfortunately. Oh, yeah, you know that one, right? Ba-da-da-da. Oh, yeah. So, it's a very difficult dance, as a matter of fact. So every time that I tell my students I'm from Brazil, they were like, "Oh, nice! You could teach us some samba." I was like, "Well, actually, I don't know how to dance samba." So they were like, "Oh no!" So I'm starting. My New Year's resolution will be to join samba class because I'm so tired of disappointing my students and even my foreign colleagues. So I can finally tell you can teach us how to dance samba. I was like, "Yes, I can." So yeah, it would be great.
Well, we also celebrate Carnivale in Italy as well. I mean, in Venice particularly, Venice is famous for the carnival, the Carnivale. But it's a winter festival. It's a winter thing for us in Italy.
Yeah, it's more for kids, isn't it? Kids getting dressed up in costumes and eating too many sweets and
yeah.
I must admit that I like your carnival. Nice, but it's very funny, the idea of carnival with people wearing clothes, I guess. So yeah, but I would love to see that. And
Well,
you know what is
clothes are always optional, I suppose.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so we can always get even. And there is some sort of a background to the carnival in Italy. Do you know that one?
No, tell
No.
us.
Oh, okay. The one in Brazil, Brazil is also a Catholic country. This is, a bit surprising for some people. But yeah, basically the story is that before Easter, people should have a day so they can commit all sorts of sins. So yeah, carnival
Ah,
is for
okay.
that. The committing sins in theory was equivalent to eating beef, right? But they took it to the next level, I guess. And yeah, carnival is the day that you have to commit your sins for 5 days. By the way, it's a 5 day holiday. And yeah,
Okay.
so good, so good. It's my favorite part of the year. And after that, you can become a saint for Easter. So yeah, that is amazing. And is that the same in
Ah, that's
Italy?
interesting.
Best of both
I don't
worlds,
know whether
isn't
it's
it?
the same in Italy. I don't know whether it's the same in Italy, but it's the same time, isn't it? The Carnivale. It's always the same in the Catholic Church. Yeah.
Well, we're not Catholics. We wouldn't know. All I know is, Easter chocolate. That's all I'm interested in.
Oh, I see. I was almost Catholic as well. As a matter of fact, I almost became an altar boy. And
Whoa.
my mom told me, oh yeah. And my mom told me, if you become an altar boy, you're gonna go to all of the masses on the weekend. And my the 12-year-old self said, well, should I go to all of the masses on the weekend or should I stay at home playing PS2? I think the latter one. So yeah. So, it's PS2, sorry.
Well, I mean, PS2, computer games. Do you still play computer games?
Oh, I do it quite frequently. So, and I always recommend to my students, I say, oh, hey, that's an amazing tool to learn English. If I were to say, who was
Yeah.
your English teacher? It was
Yeah.
Final Fantasy X,
Ah,
pretty much. So,
yeah. I've had a
yeah,
student who used to play and with the headset and he was chatting with other students and the messaging and his English
mhm,
got amazing just from playing games.
exactly. And they play, for example, like Counter-Strike and all that. The only thing that they have is they have the amazing language vice of calling me man. So there was like, yeah, I learned English from games, man. I was like, oh, thank you, I guess. Yes, I'm a man. Um, and but it's fun. It's a very nice activity. You can use that to make your English dynamic and all that. So yeah,
Yeah.
and I still play a lot of games. The Nintendo Switch games are amazing. So very interactive. Not only I can play alone, but with my family too. And I do have a big one, so it's nice to, get games for the people. And do you play games?
Not
We
anymore.
play board games.
Yeah, we play board games. We've got an
Oh,
original PlayStation in the loft, but I don't think
oh,
we've actually got a
Yeah.
TV that we can actually connect it up to anymore. I just don't think it would work.
oh no. Nowadays it can sell good as some sort of a collector's item. So
That's a good
Yeah,
point.
maybe the
Yeah. Hey,
PS1.
I'm going to write
Yeah.
that down. Yeah.
Have a look
exactly.
on
We can
eBay,
do
see
some
how
kind
much
of
they're worth. Yeah.
Because we've got an old Apple, haven't we? One of the old blocky apples that used to slot the cards in. We've got one of those in the loft as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Time
God.
to make some money, I think.
Oh yeah, we teachers need that. We need that.
Okay. Well,
And
look,
Yeah.
Alexander, we know you're a teacher. So, in talking about making
yeah.
money, we know that's obviously one of your jobs. But I mean, what else do you do? Share with us.
Well, teaching is pretty much my main job, and it's really funny because my students they ask me, "Oh, nice, but do you have a job?" I was like, "Well, you're looking at it." But I do have lots of hobbies. I love going to the gym. I'm a gym freak, so it's definitely my new personality for now. And I also do some Pilates in my free time on every Tuesday and Thursday. And it's been 7 years, and I'm a huge fan of it. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it's amazing.
Pilates. So what is the difference between Pilates and yoga? I'm always confused. Pilates and yoga.
Well,
What's the difference?
as a matter of fact, Pilates is pretty much what I would consider exercise salad because it includes things from yoga, things from ballet, things from calisthenics. So pretty much that. So you do some positions from yoga like the snake, the dog, the elephant, but it's mostly about exercising, building muscle through body weight. And
Right.
last to the relaxing part of stuff. Actually, in Pilates, you definitely get out of your comfort zone. And a lot of people who join Pilates, they're like, oh, that's super easy. On the very first day, they were like, "Oh, I don't think I'm coming back." So it's it's really nice, and I love it. So yeah.
Maybe we should give that a go, Paul. Paul and I do strength training. We always do a class when we're at work before lunch. We did a class today, and it was particular. We're going to feel it tomorrow, but we've never tried Pilates.
Yeah.
We've got a room where we have got a projector, and we choose a YouTube video, and we put it on the wall, big screen, so that then we feel like we're in the class and we can follow it. But I'm just thinking maybe we'll have to see if we can find a Pilates trainer on YouTube. I don't know. Can you recommend any?
Yeah.
Oh, there are some of them. Unfortunately, I don't have any people to recommend it. But there are some apps that you can use to enhance your flexibility. There's one that I use by Leap Fitness Group. They have a 30-day challenge, and trust me, you can achieve results on 30 days. So people are like, "Oh no, that is impossible. That's so fast," but actually you do. And they have many
Yeah.
nice apps there. So there is one that I always wanted to achieve some splits because I'm a tall guy and there's this whole stigma, tall guys are never flexible. Mind you, I'm 188. So yeah, it's a
Very tall.
whole universe. It is, that's true. Oh, you should see me trying to find shoes on sale. The struggle is real. True. And also, yeah, there's a split training and be ready because you're gonna feel the exercises from the very moment you start to do it. And yeah, that's the one that I can talk about, and it's amazing. And I also do some online workouts through YouTube as well because my push-up game was never too good. So I was like, okay, so when the pandemic came, I was like, okay, it's finally time for me to learn because I don't want to be one of those people who's like, oh my God, COVID really hit you like a truck, right? So I was like, no, I'm going to be one who's going to lose weight and be a little stronger. And that's where I learned how to do push-ups. I was able to
Okay.
do 3 sets of 15. I was like,
Oh my
wow,
God.
look at me. I know. So I was very
3 sets of
surprised.
15 push-ups. Okay. That's a
Yeah,
challenge. I take that challenge.
perfect. Tell me the results later. I'm really curious. It's amazing.
I
I
think
don't
I
think
do
you.
three sets of three.
Yeah, I think so at the moment. 5 maximum.
Yeah.
Oh, no problem. At the beginning, I could only do one. So yeah, and if I were to do it properly, maybe half. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So this sounds like this is going to be a conversation about health and fitness and entertainment and enjoying yourself and
So especially because it's something that I love to talk about, and with my friends as well, they go to the gym, they share their progress with me. I was like, yeah, let's do this, and yeah, we talk about protein drinks, everything. So I guess that's part of my personality now. So yeah.
Wow. Okay. We don't do the. We're a lot older than you, Alexander. But I mean, we make kombucha, don't we? We do brew fermented tea. That's something we do
Yeah,
for health. For
kombucha.
health,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
Um.
yes, I know.
Okay, but I
So
don't know.
We're also vegans.
Yeah.
Don't forget we're also
Yeah.
vegans, except when it comes to pizza, because you have to have cheese
Once a
on your
month.
pizza.
Once a month we have pizza.
exactly. I agree. I agree. Okay, so I'm not going to mention Brazilian barbecue because I definitely don't want you guys breaking any cycles here. And once you see the Brazilian picanha, you might think twice. So, yeah, that's right. But in Brazil, we have a very strong barbecue culture. I know this meat talk is not very nice, but yeah, I know. I mean, who eats meat into the 21st century, right? But we have a barbecue every weekend and in my family. And actually, last week we had one to celebrate my birthday. So yeah,
How old were you,
fun.
Alexander? Go on, make us feel really old.
Yeah, some people around my age they say I'm getting old, but I don't think so. All of my students say I'm a little baby. I'm 28. So
Oh my
yeah.
God.
28.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
We're almost twice your age, Alexander.
Yeah. Yeah. But look
You
at
are a
you. So
baby at 28.
Yeah, you are. You
Yeah.
are.
oh, I love to hear that. I feel so reassured. People think that, life is over after 30. I was like, no, what? No. I mean, I see a lot of people doing things. You still have dreams, objectives, secrets. Like, for example, my mom, she's starting university at the age of 46, and I don't think her life is over at all. So,
What's she
yeah,
studying?
she's studying chemistry. So yeah, she wants to be a
Whoa.
chemistry teacher. Yeah,
Wow.
but at
Whoa.
first,
Well done, her.
I
Yeah.
know.
Now, do you know when you were talking about your mum and you said your mum is 46? I thought your mum is younger than
Younger
me.
than, yes, she's younger than both of us. Yeah, your mum is
Oh
young.
no.
Yeah, yeah. Alexander's mum, if you're listening to this, you are young. You are very young.
Yeah.
Oh, she will listen to this. I need to do the translation for her, but she will, she will. And sometimes, I'm the only one in my family who speaks English, and there are very
Oh,
funny moments
really?
because, yeah, I'm a sleep talker. So yeah, um, there was a moment that I was so overworked that when I was talking in my sleep, I would speak in English, and my mom was like, "Oh, you were speaking in English last night while you were sleeping." I was like, "Okay, what did I say?" She was like, "I don't understand English, but you were." So, well, I
Wow.
hope I didn't curse.
So, how did you learn
So
your perfect English then?
was it through
Well,
computer
first of all,
games?
kind of. First of all, thank you. And yes, I could tell that most of it was through computer games. Um, since I was a kid, I was really into games. I played the games that would be considered old school nowadays, like Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo. These ones, right?
Yeah, we know
So
Sega and things like that. Yeah.
yes, I'm a huge Sonic fan when I was a kid. And eventually it got to a point that I was able to have a PS2, and there I would play Final Fantasy X. And at the same time, I would have some basic English from school. So I would see present tense, past tense, some vocabulary with food, whatever, and I
Hmm.
could transfer that. So I connected those. I was like, okay, so, and what I don't know, I can look up in a dictionary. Yeah, my first computer was around 2007, so I still had a dictionary at home. So I was
Okay.
like, okay, so there's this word of sorrow. Okay, let's see what it means. And I was like, oh my God, what a beautiful word with such a crazy meaning. So I was like, sorrow is such a beautiful word, but the meaning, And it was pretty much that. And around 2008, there was this online game. It was pretty similar to Facebook, but the name was Gaia Online. And you would use an avatar to talk to other people. Most of the people there were from the United States, so I would practice my written English with them. And at the same time, my grandma, she was really addicted to, the dead body TV shows. So yeah, she was a huge fan of Law and Order, SVU especially, and I would watch
Okay.
with her, and I would do this exercise, and I always recommend that to my student, which is it was subtitled in Portuguese, and I was like, okay, so she's going to say this word, so I was trying to think of what was going to be the next word, and I was like, oh, she used a different word. Okay, let's look that up in a dictionary. And yeah, it was pretty much a connection of everything and
Wow.
exposure to the language, House MD, Law and Order SVU, and my grandma would listen to the old R&B divas as well. So a lot of Mariah Carey, Toni Braxton, so everything. So yeah.
My God.
Because you obviously have a very American accent. You
Yeah.
have a Yankee twang to your English.
Yankee twang. I would say it's a Yankee twang. It's American, but definitely.
I do. It's under control now, but back in the day, I had like some kind of sauce when I was speaking in English. But now it's good. After teaching some time, I was like, okay, I gotta find my accent. I know I speak pretty much Americanized, but find something that makes me Brazilian, but at the same time, like a near native speaker. So yeah. But yeah, I do. I do. I used to watch these shows and I was like, they kind of speak a little different from my teachers. So let's try that. But the problem is, once I grew up, I fell in love with the British accent. So I was like, oh my God, how do I backtrack now? So yeah,
It's
seeing
too
Harry
late.
Potter,
It's too late now.
I know, I know. Seeing Harry Potter with the original audio, I was like, oh, I love the Potter. I was like, oh, I wish I could do that, but no, I cannot pull
Yep.
that off. Sorry.
Alexander, you're a perfect example of the future, though, because we are in the minority, me and Paul, as native speakers, and you as English as a second language, but you sound like a native, and with the American accent. That's the English of the future, isn't it? That's the
Yeah.
majority.
Yeah, it's the world's language now. That's what I
Yeah.
usually tell my students. You're going to speak the world's language. It's not that it's not the language of Canada, United States, United Kingdom anymore. So it's the world's language. So to talk to the
Yeah.
world, you need English. So yeah, and you can
Yeah.
sound like me. So believe in your
It's
dreams,
very
people.
true. It's very true. I mean, not long ago, I mean, if you went back 20, 30 years, um, the English language was still controlled by the English speaking world.
Yeah.
Like, the Oxford University used to decide what was a word and what wasn't a word.
Yeah.
But nowadays, it is the world's language. And
I think it was
no
longer
one
than
has
20 years
control.
ago, Paul. I think it was longer.
Yeah, probably.
It was,
Yeah,
we're talking
probably.
just before the internet, about 1996-ish, I think. Yeah.
I was in my
Yeah,
mom's
maybe.
valley back in the day.
Yeah.
Back in the
But,
day,
yeah,
yeah.
right. Yeah,
Mhm.
and learning English with CDs and all that. I had all of those materials because my family tried to learn with that. There was even an English learning CD with the audio was from Nicole Kidman, and I was like, well,
Oh,
okay, we're friends.
Wow.
I would love to learn English with her. I guess everyone would like to learn English with her, right? Except for Tom Cruise, I guess. Nah, just kidding. Sorry, you gotta sip some tea. Nah, just kidding.
I mean,
But
that's a technique, isn't it? That's a shadowing what students are recommended to do to find a voice. I loved, who is married to Liz Taylor? Can't remember his name now.
Richard Burton.
Yes. Oh, when Richard Burton spoke, my God, it's like chocolate for your ears. It's like perfect. But are there people out there these days? The modern celebrities, have they got a voice that people want to copy? I don't know.
right. It's
Well,
it's the age of
Nicole Kidman has that Australian sort of thing going for her as well, doesn't she?
I think so. I'm really sorry, but I really don't know how Nicole Kidman sounds like. All of the movies that I saw of her were in Portuguese dub. So yeah, I guess I should watch some interviews. Sorry. And most of the videos I see, she's posing and all that, but I never saw her speak. So funny, right? Yeah.
Oh.
And it was a little groundbreaking to find that some actors were British instead of American. I was like, well, to the Portuguese voice dub, everyone is in the same nationality. So yeah. When I saw the interviews, I was like, oh, okay. That's interesting. So yeah. But it was pretty much the same revelation as knowing that Glenn Close was American. I was like, oh, I thought she was British. Okay.
Yeah, I suppose because when they were dubbed, I don't suppose they were dubbed with an accent, weren't they? They were dubbed as a native Portuguese speaker. Yeah.
Exactly.
Interesting. Yeah.
Besides from Rio de Janeiro.
Talking of accents and movie accents, I think British actors and actresses can do quite good American accents, but Americans cannot do British accents.
Unfortunately not.
Well, let's ask you, Alexander, in our last podcast, we were talking about James Bond. We were talking about the Bond franchise being sold to Barbara Broccoli, and Wilson have given up the creative rights. And we were saying about the new Bond, and we were saying, hey, they cannot be American, and that Paul and I would not even accept an American actor trying to pretend to be British. But we don't know who it could be. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
There are some rumors that there's Aaron Taylor Johnson that could be the next James Bond, and I was surprised to know that he was British. So here's another one as well. I was like, okay, that could totally be an American actor, but he's British, I guess. Nice. And I think he could be a very good actor. She's seen the pictures. You're seeing the pictures. He could totally be Bond, right? Watch out, Paul.
He's 34. He's from High Wycombe. He's English. Yeah.
I don't know the name. What's he been in?
He's been in Kick-Ass, Marvel Cinematic Universe, Avengers. It looks like he's mostly been playing Americans, but he is English. Oh,
yeah, because we Brits we can do American accents quite easily, but the Americans can't do British accents.
I think he needs to clean himself up a bit though, because he's a bit sort of like the rough, the designer stubble. He needs to, he's got an earring. That's got to go. Bond doesn't wear an earring.
That's true. And in his recent role, he played Craven the Hunter, which is quite very opposite of Bond the Gentleman. So yeah, once you see, the
Yeah.
costume design, you're like, oh no, that's not the next James Bond. And so people say Henry Cavill as well. Yeah, why not, right? So after
Ah,
suffering all of the things that he suffered from Superman the movie, I
yeah.
think he deserves at least a redemption. So yeah.
Paul, do
Mm.
you remember Bullet Train, the movie with Brad Pitt?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
played one of the evil guys, the guy with the slicked back hair and the
Oh,
big
yeah. Yeah.
handlebar. Yeah, that was him. But he looks
Right.
totally
Okay.
different when he's got the facial hair off. So yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Good one.
Another name in the
Well, I mean,
list.
who is going to make the decision? Do you think Jeff Bezos, now he owns the franchise, is he going to be the one who chooses? You can be Bond.
I think so. And well, maybe I guess I should send my CV with my impressive curriculum. Nah, just kidding. Oh, fortunately, I kind of make a British accent. But funny enough, during one of those lazy times, I was like, okay, I got nothing to do. So, okay, YouTube, how to sound British. And I was able to get a little bit of the mouth movements. You say, so you're gonna let it loose and
Hmm.
things
Yeah.
like, yeah. But the only thing that I know how to say is, what a lovely skirt. And that's about it. So, yeah.
We
Yeah.
usually say there's one word that you can show with your pronunciation the difference between American and British, and that's awesome. British English, awesome. American, awesome. They go that way.
Yeah, we go awesome. Yeah.
It doesn't
And
matter, does it? But anyway, I mean,
that's
are you a
true.
fan of movies, Alexander? Do you go to the cinema? Do you watch? Do you binge Netflix like the rest of us?
Well, I am quite a lot, and I consider myself quite a musical person as well. So you were talking about Bond movies, and that
Mhm.
rang a bell with my favorite Bond songs. And I'm a huge fan. And funny enough, I only knew that "Nobody Does It Better" was a Bond song after I saw the video. And Carly Simon, she's amazing, right? So yeah. And what is your favorite Bond soundtracks?
Ooh,
Ooh.
That's a
ooh. It's
hard
got to
one.
be Shirley Bassey, hasn't it? Just for the performance, because she was just
Oh,
amazing.
which one? Goldfinger? That one is good.
Well, just Shirley
Yeah.
Bassey. I mean, Alexander, we're young enough that we used to watch the Shirley Bassey show that was on once a week, where she'd do the whole singing thing, and it was fantastic,
Oh,
wasn't it? So not
Yeah.
just from the
impressive.
Bond movies, but just as a singer, anything she does is fantastic.
I love
So
it.
Shirley Bassey, the man, she did Goldfinger, and what was the other one that she
Mhm.
did though?
Diamonds
Diamonds
are
are
forever.
yes,
Diamonds Are
exactly.
Forever.
Diamonds
Yeah.
are forever.
I did my research. And the performance is
Yeah.
so good because she's so expressive. And
Yeah,
there are some shining diamonds, and she's
yeah,
like, oh, look how shiny this is.
yeah.
And it's so
Mm.
amazing. Yeah,
It's brilliant.
I think the old Bond themes are much better than the new Bond themes.
Yeah.
I think so. I
Billie
listened to the
Eilish.
one on Billie
Yeah.
Eilish.
Yeah.
No, yeah, not that, right? So
Mhm. Yeah, and
true.
even Adele, hers wasn't very, no.
No, the Adele song wasn't very good at all, I don't think.
They haven't got
Yeah.
gravitas, haven't they? They haven't got the theatrical sort of big weight. I mean, Madonna's was pathetic as well, wasn't it? But,
Yeah.
When I
yeah.
was a child, I used to love it. Hot take. But I didn't know it was a Bond soundtrack. But taking into account, it was pretty much a product of its time. The outdated effects, outdated sound. So yeah, things that
That's
don't
a good
age well.
point.
It's pretty fitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, time will tell what's going to happen next then. Right. Well, I mean, I suppose before we go, we've got to encourage all of our listeners who are language learners, Alexander, to connect with you, find out where you are. Hopefully, we'll put a little link to your LinkedIn profile so you can get a lot more followers and they can find out what you're doing.
Hey,
I mean, what's next for you in terms of your career? Because you're a lot younger than us. So what are you planning? What big things have you got on in the future for you?
well, I'm definitely not stopping. So I'm working towards getting my master's degree in bilingual education
Yeah.
and from an American university. So
Okay.
maybe in a few months, I'll be able to tell you guys some news that, hey, I started finally. And yeah, that's my biggest dream for now. And I miss traveling abroad as well. I worked as a teacher in Mexico. I had a few teaching gigs in Peru too. So yeah, as soon as I get my master's, I'm out in the world again because I was definitely born to be part of the world. So yeah, this is what I'm doing next. And
Okay.
also, I would
Well,
love to tell my future students that if you understood what I said so far, you're good. Your listening is amazing. But in case you haven't, no problem. It's just, the coffee kicking in.
Love that.
where do
I
you want
love.
to travel to then? What are your sort of dream destinations for travel?
Oh, that's so hard to choose because I must admit that I fell in love with Mexico quite a lot. I love that country. It's the food, the people. I feel like a true Mexican staying there because they really are that nice. But I would love to go to Italy eventually. I'm learning Italian, and Duolingo is my best friend. And I always encourage my students to learn languages through Duolingo. It's a very nice exercise. And there was a moment that I got to use a Duolingo word with a friend, and I was able to say grass in Spanish. And I was like, wait, I learned that word on Duolingo. And eventually, the word led to grass, and well, grass.
There you
And
go.
yeah, but
How
you're
good is
right
your
there.
Spanish then? Because you said you traveled in Mexico. How good is your Spanish language?
Oh, I'm also fluent in Spanish and I speak just as fast, actually. So when people talk to me, they were like, okay, what's happening? Are you in a hurry? I was like, no, I guess it's my personality. I'm a fast speaker. And yeah, I'm learning Italian. So far, my Italian is still going slow, which means that I need to work on it. As soon as I, get the energy pill in Italian, I know I'll be good. But yeah, shout out to the Italian teachers. Luca, you're amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, look, Alexandra, it was lovely to speak to you today. It was a real whirlwind of entertainment topics. So thank you for that. That was great. Okay. And all the best for the future. When you start doing your traveling, I think you should do a travel vlog. Definitely. You'll definitely get some followers with that.
Yeah.
Some people tell me something about that. Okay, you should totally be an influencer, document your trips and all that, especially because I love to try new things, exotic stuff. I was like, if you know what I ate in Mexico, I would never get a kiss in my life. So I ate crickets, and trust me, they are delicious. So yeah, but you guys are vegan, you don't eat crickets, right? So yay. Um,
Even
but
if
it's
we
really
weren't vegans, we wouldn't eat crickets.
Yeah, but I would follow Alexander on his travels and watch him eating them. That wouldn't be a problem. I'd watch it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
perfect. So my next goal is getting a good camera. I promise. I will document my trips. It will be amazing, and there will be lots of rambling, like just I did just now. And thank you so much for putting up with all that talk and all of that loudness that I have. But it's all good. It all turned out amazing.
All right. Well,
Okay.
thanks for joining us today, Alexander. All right.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. See you.
Thanks for listening. We hope you liked our podcast, and please don't forget to subscribe and stay connected with us. Until next time, goodbye.